Paris, the city of lights, the city of romance, the city of beauty. Millions travel here every year to see the Eiffel Tower, walk along the Seine, and fall in love with its charm. But what if I told you that beneath the cobblestone streets, beneath the cafes and boulevards, beneath the very ground you walk on lies another city? A city of 6 million people. A city of bones. A city of the dead. Enter the Paris Catacombs, the empire of the dead. These underground tunnels stretch for over 300 kilometers beneath the city. But here's the thing, only 1.7 kilometers are open to the public. The rest? A labyrinth of darkness, silence, and mystery. You have no idea what lies beneath your feet. We're uncovering the history, the horror, and the hidden secrets of one of the world's most haunting places. So stay with me, because this journey isn't for the faint of heart. To understand the catacombs, we need to go back, way back, to Roman times. When Paris was still called Lutetia, the Romans discovered something incredibly valuable beneath the ground. Limestone. Strong, durable, and perfect for building. So they dug, and they kept digging. For centuries, these quarries expanded. Stone was pulled from the earth to build the Notre Dame, the Louvre, and countless other structures that still stand today. But here's the problem. Paris kept growing above, while hollow tunnels spread below. The city was literally built on a honeycomb of empty space. Fast forward to the 18th century. Paris had a new crisis, the dead. Cemeteries were packed beyond capacity. Bodies were stacked on top of each other. Coffins broke open. Bones spilled into the streets. The smell was unbearable. Disease was spreading. The most infamous example? The Cemetery of the Innocents. For 600 years, it was Paris's largest burial ground. By 1780, it was overflowing literally. Basement walls of nearby buildings collapsed under the pressure of decaying corpses. The situation was a public health disaster. Something had to be done. In 1786, King Louis XVI made a bold decision. Empty the cemeteries and move the bones underground. Into the old quarries. Into the tunnels beneath the city. And so, the catacombs were born. Imagine this. It's late at night. Black-draped carts roll through the streets of Paris, piled high with human bones. Priests chant prayers as the remains of millions are transported to the edge of the city and lowered into the earth. This went on for years, night after night, bone after bone. But it wasn't just a dump site. Engineers and architects had to reinforce the tunnels first. These quarries were old, unstable, and dangerous. Collapse was a constant threat. So they mapped the tunnels, built support pillars, and created passageways strong enough to hold the weight of the dead. Then came the arrangement. The bones weren't just piled randomly. They were organized. Skulls and femurs, the largest, most recognizable bones, were stacked along the walls in precise, artistic patterns. Rows and rows of them. Walls of death, stretching into the darkness. And above certain sections, inscriptions. Poems, biblical verses, philosophical quotes, all reminding visitors of the same truth. Stop. This is the empire of death. By the early 1800s, the catacombs held the remains of over 6 million people. Former kings and peasants, rich and poor, all resting together in the dark. This wasn't a graveyard. This wasn't a tomb. This was something else entirely. Today, visitors can explore 1.7 kilometers of the catacombs. But remember, the full network is over 300 kilometers long. That's nearly 200 miles of tunnel, most of which are off-limits, unmapped, and completely dark. The public route takes you down 131 steps into the earth, about 20 meters below street level. The air gets colder. The sound changes. Every footstep echoes. You walk through narrow corridors carved from limestone. The walls are damp. The ceiling is low. And then you see them. The bones. Stacked floor to ceiling. Arranged in patterns. Some decorative. Some hauntingly symmetrical. Femurs form borders. Skulls fill the gaps. It's morbid. It's mesmerizing. It's strangely beautiful. Some of the most famous chambers include the Barrel of Bones, a cylindrical column made entirely of skulls. The Salle de la Réunion, one of the largest open chambers, where silence feels alive. The Crypt of the Passion, decorated with carvings and religious symbols. The lighting is dim, minimal, just enough to see where you're walking, and just enough to make shadows flicker across the bones. You're surrounded by the dead, and yet it's quiet, respectful, almost sacred. But not everyone who enters these tunnels follows the rules. The catacombs aren't just a tourist attraction. They're a subculture. There's a group of people called Cataphiles, urban explorers who illegally break into the restricted tunnels. They navigate the dark with headlamps and maps passed down through secret networks. Some throw underground parties. Some paint murals. Some just explore. In 2004, police discovered an illegal underground cinema. Full setup, screen, projector, seating, a bar, and even carved-out rooms. When they returned days later to investigate further, everything was gone. Just a note left behind. Do not try to find us. In 2017, 2 teenagers got lost in the tunnels for 3 days. Rescue teams had to search miles of dark passages before finding them, dehydrated and terrified. And then there are the stories. People report hearing whispers when no one else is around, footsteps behind them that stop when they turn, cold spots that hit like a wall, shadows that move on their own. Some say it's just the mind playing tricks in the dark. Others swear the catacombs are haunted. One legend tells of a man who ventured into the tunnels alone in the 1990s with a video camera. Days later, the camera was found near an exit, but he never was. The footage? Just hours of him wandering, panicking, and finally silence. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing is certain. When you're surrounded by 6 million dead in total darkness, your imagination runs wild. But beyond the spookiness, the catacombs have real scientific and historical value. These bones are a time capsule. Archaeologists and historians study them to learn about the health, diet, and diseases of Parisians from centuries past. Teeth can reveal malnutrition. Bones show injuries, illnesses, even causes of death. The catacombs are also a cultural symbol. They represent Paris's relationship with death, not hidden or feared, but acknowledged and even honored. Artists, writers, and filmmakers have drawn inspiration from these tunnels for generations. They appear in novels, movies, and music videos. They're a reminder that beneath beauty and life lies history, mystery, and mortality. The catacombs force us to confront a simple truth. We all end up the same way. If you want to visit the catacombs legally, here's what you need to know. Only 1.7 kilometers are open to the public. You descend 131 steps, walk through the tunnels, and climb back up 112 steps. The whole tour takes about 45 minutes. Tickets sell out fast, so book online in advance. Entry is tightly controlled, and for good reason. Safety rules include: stay on the marked path. Do not touch the bones. No large bags. No flash photography in some areas. If you have claustrophobia, heart issues, or mobility problems, this tour isn't recommended. The temperature underground stays around 14 degrees Celsius, 57 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, so bring a jacket. And one last thing, illegal exploration is a serious crime. If caught in restricted tunnels, you face heavy fines or even arrest. The catacombs are beautiful, but they're also dangerous. People have gotten lost, injured, and worse. Respect the dead. Respect the rules. Above the streets of Paris, life goes on. Lovers walk hand in hand. Tourists take photos. Lights twinkle against the night sky. But below, in the cold, silent darkness, the empire of the dead remains. 6 million souls rest in those tunnels. Kings and beggars, soldiers and children, artists and criminals, all equal now, all forgotten by name. But together, they form one of the most haunting, beautiful, and mysterious places on Earth. The Paris Catacombs aren't just about death. They're about memory, about history, about the thin line between the world we see and the world beneath our feet. So I'll leave you with this question. Would you be brave enough to spend 10 minutes down there alone in the dark? If you enjoyed this journey into the underworld, hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into the world's darkest mysteries. And let me know in the comments. Would you visit the catacombs? Thanks for watching. Stay curious. Stay brave. And remember, the dead are always closer than you think.